This podcast is brought to you by the Alliance for African Partnership in collaboration with the U.S. Department of State.
Hello there. My name is Oliver Navidio. I'm an alumna of the Professional Fellows Program funded by the U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Education and Culture Affairs, and implemented by Michigan State University in partnership with University of Nairobi, Kenya, Sokoine University of Agriculture, Tanzania, and Chambogo University, Uganda. The Professional Fellows Program is an initiative that aims to provide emerging agribusiness entrepreneurs from the US and Africa to access mentorship, networking, and cultural exchange opportunities with a focus on women's empowerment. I'm excited to welcome you to the very first series of the Bridging Boundaries podcast that aims to bring together professional fellows to speak about their work, share experiences, and discuss questions of shared importance. Each individual podcast will explore in depth the overlying objectives of the Professional Fellows Program. Through this podcast, we aim to bring you some of the most exciting discussions, experiences, and insights from professional fellows. Hope you enjoy. Today we will have just a conversation about very many things around the Professional Fellows Program, and we shall share probably about our virtual experience and so many things. So I would like to start with requesting Remmy. Remmy, you are currently a lead mentor with Art of a Child Limited. Could you kindly tell us more about the things that you do with Art of the Child?
Thank you, Oliver. I'm Remmy Bishanga from Uganda, and I work with Art of a Child, and I do quite a lot for Art of a Child. I'm a lead mentor, and I'm the leader for the moms. So my main focus in Art of a Child is working with women, empowering them with different skills, and making sure that they are financially independent. We also work with children, whom we empower with literacy skills, and the girls, we empower them with advocacy skills and 21st century skills. That includes the entrepreneurship skills and teaching them about their rights so that they can always speak up and fight for their rights as girls. Thank you.
Remmy, you work specifically with women and children. And I think your passion is around the same. Why specifically women and children?
We thought of women and children. First of all, we are like Art of a Child, we are literacy advocates, and we work upon promoting literacy amongst children. And we believe that once we teach our children, we have to teach our mother. So that's back at home, a mother can help the child through the literacy programs. So we teach women to read books for their children and how to solve problems, not by a stick, but by talking to them and telling stories, just like we used to do in the old days. So we believe that once you deal with a child, you have to deal with a mother too. Thank you.
All right, that's quite interesting. We will hear more about it. So, Mike, you are an embryologist. I don't know if I've said it right. You are an embryologist at GGS Genetics, and you have mentored probably about 5 fellows. That was, I think, physically, and then virtually you've mentored 1 fellow. Could you kindly tell us about the work that you do and how your experience was or has been mentoring professional fellows?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I have been involved with 5 different fellows. It's been fun to learn their cultural ideas, and hopefully because I've traveled to their countries and seen how they have to manage some of their environmental and cultural restrictions, I hope I can at least give them at least a safe environment where we can ask lots of questions. Maybe I hope I have a better understanding of why they ask the questions they do. At least in my industry, we're trying to improve the genetic potentials of livestock, mainly beef cattle and dairy cattle, by using embryo transfer as a way to increase the genetic potentials available on the good quality genes. And the nice thing about that is that it can be transported to these other countries to be used in enhancing their areas to increase milk production or beef production to feed the people. And that was one of the things I noticed, at least when I was in Uganda, that their population is quite young. A larger percentage of them are quite young.
Mm-hmm.
And my thoughts are that as they develop into adults, they're going to have families, and they're going to have ways to feed the families, and they're going to have good incomes to provide for their families. So I'm hoping that maybe some of the small things that we're doing here with the fellowship program will help facilitate that, and maybe we can achieve great things as a team. That's about what I've been hoping.
That is so true. So you've been to some of the East African countries promoting the same embryology and embryo transfer. How was the experience? How has your experience been? And if you can make a comparison, which people are taking this up more than the others, and where have the improvements been?
So far, we've done work in Eldoret, and that's in Kenya. We've done work in Gulu and Mbara and Mbali in Kenya, or down in the southwest region in Uganda. And then we did a little work in Rwanda, up by the northwest area of Rwanda. Currently, I'm actually working with a farmer, and we've taken over 20 embryos, 10 of the Holstein breed and 10 of the Jersey breed. The first trip that we took the 10 on for Holstein, we didn't have very good success. We're hoping that we have better success on the Jersey. The goal is to get a factory over there in that country, in Uganda, so that we can do the services right there in Uganda. Mm-hmm. And that will increase their success rate and reduce their cost to get a live calf on the ground. I think that's a more progressive way than just keep buying genetics from different countries, even though there's a lot of good genetics in, Europe.
Yeah.
But if the factory is in the country, you just cut down on the chances of having failures. And this has got to be cost effective for it to be sustainable. And if it's not cost effective, it will only last as long as I can support it. And I don't see that being a long time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So, Remmy, you attended the virtual professional fellows program for the first time. That I think happened under the Alliance for African Partnership. How was your experience with the virtual program?
My experience with the virtual program was quite unique because it was the first program that I had to do online. And it was a great experience because I learned a lot. I learned how to plan, and I learned self-study because we would always be given assignments which we go through, then we present. So it was quite an experience of self-study and learning on how to take a class in any environment, because sometimes class would not find you in a safe place, but you would make sure you make it safe for the class. And I also learned how to pay more attention because you're on a virtual you're in a virtual class whereby you're not seeing the person that is, okay, you're seeing the person, but it is not as it is if the person was in the same room with you. So it was kind of great experience, and I learned that paying attention is really important. It's not that you have to pay attention when the person is right in front of you, but even if the person is on the other side just talking, you have to listen carefully. And also learned more of planning, because we were studying while working, so I had to balance that too. So I had to plan my time better and make sure that by the time the sessions come in, I'm in a safe place, and I'm ready to take it on. However, I missed making authentic relationships with my other fellows and the tutors that were giving us the classes. That authentic friendship, like after class you interact, because here after class everyone would just put off the Zoom, and
Their
that was
Zoom.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that was my experience with the virtual class. Thank you.
Yeah. Probably when you travel to the US, sometime in April, you will be able to meet physically the people that you are interacting with virtually, and you can make a lot of meaningful connections, and a lot of you will learn probably much more from them.
Yeah, thank you, Oliver.
All right. So
you also to network more.
All right. So you also have an interest, or you're doing poultry farming, and you're promoting poultry farming still among the women. How is that going for you, and what are some of the things that you learned from the program that are helping you improve that program?
Thank you, Oliver. Actually, before the program, we did not have the poultry farm. It is something that we've always been passionate about. So immediately after the program, we started. I think that was COVID. During the COVID time, we used that time to construct the house. And after the lockdown was put off, that's when we started the poultry farm. And so far it is moving on so well, because we are involving the lead kids and the lead moms, because our goal is to make sure that the children learn how to farm when they're still young, because in Uganda we consider farming like for people who are back in the villages and poor.
And
so we want our children to grow up.
Well.
It's a way, like it's a punishment. So we want our children to grow up knowing that farming is actually something good. You can do it despite the facts or despite the place where you are. And we encourage the mothers to come. We encourage the mothers to come on the project so that they can learn more about farming, what is involved, and what are the byproducts of farming of chicken or poultry. Is it only chicken and eggs, or there's more? So we started with 100 broilers, and so far they are on the stage of laying eggs, and the mothers are involved, and the little children are really loving it. So far we've learned a lot. As me, I've learned a lot on vaccination. I've learned a lot that just like humans take food every day, so are the birds. I've learned that just as we need multivitamins, they also need multivitamins. So it is quite a good experience, and I'm grateful that at least I've managed to start it after going through the professional fellow program, because I had to use my strength on the projects, because we were assessed, and I managed to discover my strength as a leader. And it has really helped me take on the program and manage it constructively, and making sure that we do not lose a lot of birds.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So Mike is has a background in animal science. Probably a collaboration between you and Mike would be a very good fit, because he could be able to advise. I know his interest is in embryology, but I think also poultry. He can be able to give some good advice. What do you think about that, Mike?
Well, the one thing that I have recently been asked to be part of,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been quite exciting, is there's this forum on WhatsApp that one of my people that I met my last trip, he's a veterinarian, has asked me to be part of. And I don't know, there's 20 or 30 farm related people that are on the forum. And
Mm.
one of the things that was shown was poultry, and there's obviously quite a bit of poultry in Uganda. But you were talking about not just the eggs and the meat production,
Yeah.
but there was a YouTube video of this man using the droppings from the poultry to eventually charge his electric car, and he drove off with the poultry basically charging his car.
Wow.
So
That's
that
interesting.
was yeah, it was quite a cute little video of how they took
Mm.
the droppings, they put them into a biodigester, and then
Mm.
the gases from the biodigester then ran a generator, and the generator then got plugged into the car, and then he
Mm.
drove off in his electric car
Mm.
from the droppings from the chickens.
Wow.
So that kind of stuff is certainly an area where I can be a resource for
Mm.
Remmy to connect her, because I have developed some really good contacts in the Ugandan community.
Mm.
And certainly, I'm looking forward to having them here in US, because for me to understand their difficulties, I need to go to their situations, and that's why
That's true.
I have traveled to their countries as many times
Mm.
as I have. And I think for them to understand me, for them to come here and see what is, I want to use the word normal, but what we do in our daily lives would
Mm-hmm.
maybe help them understand who I am and, why I approach my decisions based on what I grew up with. So, but Remmy, you are inspiring just from your comments. I'm so encouraged to hear you talk of your courage of becoming a leader, your comments on how the Zoom meetings were difficult because you had to spend more time focusing. I know when I'm in country, it's a little easier to understand because I can focus on the person's face and watch
Yeah.
them as they talk
Mm-hmm.
because of the difference in the
Yeah.
dialogue.
Mm.
It makes it easier
Mm.
than if it's just a recording. So
Yeah.
I can understand your struggles. I mean, there's no point in having a course if you're not understanding what the course is trying to provide for you. In other words, if communication is not happening, you're not communicating between each other, then you're not succeeding at the task. So plus we would just love to host and spoil you guys for a little bit while you're here in the US. So
Oh, that would
Yeah.
really be so nice. Yeah. That is really, really interesting. So I understand that because of the backgrounds that you have and the interests that Remmy has, you can be able to form a collaboration between each other. And I think that can push the very many projects, forward. And I like the fact that you come to experience, the area where people are and where you would like to put advice. It is something that is really good to understand, and you can be able to relate, and then you can introduce and innovate something in that person's context. Yeah, that is really interesting. That is something that is very interesting. So around the program, probably as we tend towards a conclusion, are there any recommendations that you would like to give about the program? Probably some of the good things that you found out about the program, some of the things that can be taken ahead, some areas of improvement, just any recommendations that you could be having. Mike can start.
one thing I've asked from both of my last two fellows is give me some guidance on things that you think you're interested in. Because what I did with my last two fellows is I did a lot of farm tours. So I know it's difficult because they have no way of knowing what resources we have available here.
Yeah.
For instance, one of my fellows was quite interested in goats and lactating goats. So I reached out to a friend who has a small herd of goats, and I think we're going to try to promote AIing goats in her country because of that. So if I have an idea or an area of interest that my fellow wants me to focus on in advance, then I could set up the time to utilize with professionals who are beyond what I am. I mean, if it had to do with embryo transfer, I would, obviously know where to take them, but the chances of that are pretty slim. It's more likely to be another area of agriculture, like chickens. If I need to figure out a way to find a local breeder that would be beneficial and at the scale of what you're used to. I mean, America does things at a level that sometimes it's hard to understand. With tens of thousands of birds instead of just a few.
Yeah, that's true.
So what good is tens of thousands of birds if you're going to go home and only have 20? You need to manage the program based on what your conditions will allow.
All right.
So that would be my recommendation to the fellowship program, is if we could have more, broaden our resources, because the U.S. has got such a vast community of egg-based environments that we can expose our fellowship program to them, our fellows to them, and they can maybe take more home. If nothing else, plant a few seeds and get some ideas going, and then we can follow up. Like for instance, this person who I'm working with, I gave them 2 contacts to follow up on. And if that doesn't succeed, then I will make sure that I help her be successful after she's been back home. So, them are my ideas.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. Remmy, your recommendations?
I won't go far away from what Mike has recommended. I think we should be paired up because we are given mentors at the beginning of the program.
Yeah.
And I suggest that we be given mentors who are in line with our interests so that they can maybe help us and advise us to be better. However, the program itself is very educative. I myself, I became a better leader. I learned more leadership skills and how to conduct myself as a leader. And I also learned more about innovation. The way we understand innovation in Uganda is quite different, but after the professional fellow program, I learned that innovation does not only stop on creating, but just like because we're also having a mushroom project, getting the mushrooms, drying them, and having different ways of putting out a product is also innovation. So I came to learn that, and it has really helped me in the farming business. And the course really helped me become more passionate about farming. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully, because that is really, really interesting. And thank you so much for those recommendations. And one thing that I remember so much about the program when I was in it, it was the homestay. So I hope when you go to to the US, you are able to, experience the homestay. Mike, you've been to Uganda several times. Remmy and I are from Uganda. What are some of the things that you love about Uganda?
Well, first and foremost, the people, and they're big hearts. They have very big hearts. The other thing that seems to help me out, because I have a gluten intolerance, is your food. So
there's a variety of food to choose from.
Yes, I don't have to worry about any wheat allergies while I'm there, because there's not a lot of wheat available. So when I'm eating beans and rice and goat stew, there is no additives. It is what it says it is, and I love your tilapia.
Wow!
My last trip,
yeah.
Last trip I didn't get any. We were not in an area where it was available.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully
my
next
big,
time.
yeah,
I'll
I think,
carry it. I'll carry it for you. I'm on
okay.
Remy, but Remy will carry for you that dried one that you can,
There
prepare.
you go.
Yeah.
Well, last time I brought back 15 kilos of your coffee, so I
Wow.
did that. I took care of that problem for myself.
That is interesting. So Remy, what do you look forward to when you go to the US? What is that exciting thing that you look forward to beyond the program?
Beyond the program.
You might need
to experience the culture. To experience the culture of the Americans, because I've not been in America. So I want to experience the coldness, because I'm told it is cold. We have to put on like onions. So I'm just like eager to see how cold is that place that is more cold than home. And also eat the food. I want to eat something called the tacos. I've always seen them with Trevor Noah talking about them. So I'd really love to eat that food and taste it.
That is so nice. So I think we've come to the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and insights about the program and about your experiences. It's been great having you in this podcast. Till next time, have a good evening and have a good night. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Oliver.
Thank you, Olivia.
Bye.
The Alliance for African Partnership is committed to building networks across all sectors, leading in activities that positively transform institutions and livelihoods in Africa, the US, and beyond. For more information, visit www.aap.isp.msu.edu. AAP, Building Bridges, Transforming Lives and Institutions. This podcast was brought to you by the Alliance for African Partnership in collaboration with the U.S. Department of State.